Okay, we're gonna be looking at the hidden patterns and tendencies of Robert Whittaker, which led to Israel's knockout. So the first thing we're going to look at is right at the start of the fight, the first exchange. If you look at the way Robert dips his head, it's towards his right, and he keeps this pattern and tendency the whole way through. For the first couple of minutes of this fight, all Israel does is look to pick traits and patterns up off Robert, and this is the biggest one. He keeps on dipping his head to the right. So we'll watch this clip in slow-mo. Just look for Robert's head. It's gonna dip towards the right. So see there, yeah. Okay, so these next batch of videos are all from the 4 minute mark to 3 minute mark of the fight. So in just this minute alone, you can see this same pattern repeat itself a lot of Robert dipping his head to the right, and all Israel is doing is just making notes of this tendency, and then he's looking to capitalize on it. So the next couple of clips just notice for the dip of Robert's head towards the right. So we'll watch it in fast first, and then we'll slow it down.
Fight a little bit dirty. It can't look too clean. If it looks too clean, you're.
So now let me go back. Reset. So let me slow this down now. So if you watch it again now, look for his head again. Yep, so watch. Can you see the head? It's going towards the right. So, okay, here's another example of the dip towards the right. Every time Robert looks to engage and set up a combination, he always dips his head to the right. So this is one more example of this. So here, one more time in fast, and I'll play in slow-mo.
For guys to try to take him down at this point.
See, can you see that dip right there? So we'll go back again. Slow it down now. Slow-mo. So watch for this dip to this side. Yeah. And as you can see there, Israel's already setting up his trap. So let me just go back. So watch this in super slow-mo. So as you can see here, look at that left hand of Israel. So as Robert comes in here, yeah, let's go from here.
This point.
So see, as Robert comes in there, you can see that left hand is coming already. This is the punch that actually sets up the knockout, the two knockdowns and the knockout. So here, look, watch. Boom. Yeah, so he's already planting the seed. This is round number 1, 3:49. Yeah. Okay, so look at the clock now. It's 3:20. So in the first 2 minutes of the fight, all Israel's done is look for traits. So he stayed on the back foot, guy's distance, guy's range, and he's just reading Robert's moves and looking for what traits he's showing. So as I've shown before, he's picked that trait up off Robert dipping his head towards the right. So now what Israel is doing is he's trying to force this trait out of him as well. So he's using his a jab, left kick to force this trait out of Robert, this dip. Yeah, so this is another example. Watching slow-mo, you can see as Israel just sets up his jab, he's seeing that same dip again. So this is it in slow-mo. I'll just point the arrow to see to the space where his head will go. Yeah, so just watch this. So in this next clip now, if you look at the time, it's 2:21. So the first half of the fight, all Israel has done is just guy's distance, guy's range, and is looking at traits that Robert is showing. So there's one big trait that I found. When Robert sets off for his attack, he keeps on dipping his head to his right. Yeah. So now, in the next in the back end of the round, all Israel is looking to do now is punishing for this trait. So if you watch this clip really fast, you can see the eventual setup for the knockout punch. So he's trying to time that left hook on Robert whilst he's dipping to the right. So we'll watch it fast and then we'll watch it in slow-mo. So here it is fast. Look for the 2 left hooks.
Momentary pause in the action due to an inadvertent eye poke. Back to it now.
Watching how calm Adesanya is when Whittaker's throwing everything with so much heat is crazy.
So I'll play that in slow-mo now so you can see for yourself. So we'll go in slow-mo. So there's 2 left hooks there. So here's the first one. So as Robert dips, now watch this dip. See that left hook coming around there. Here's the next one. Okay, so if you look at the time again, we're at 1:35 now. So now Israel is just looking to punish him for this trait. So if you look at this next exchange, he throws a jab just to draw this reaction out of Robert. So as Robert dips to the right, you can see, okay, I've got this, I'm keep on getting this reaction out of him. So then what he looks to do is, in the clip before he seen like he was looking to time the left hook, now he's trying to mix it up. So he's trying to show the left head kick to Robert and give Robert like different looks. So this is just a quick one. So straight, first thing to look for is the dip off the jab.
You gotta think Robert's expectant that there might be some of that.
Can you see that? So Israel throws this jab, boom. Can you see that dip to the right? Yeah. Now I'll carry on playing this clip. Look for the 2 head kicks.
A lot of big actions by Robert Whittaker, though. Throwing big old looping punches, not being as straight as he normally is. Wants to get to Adesanya.
So there's the 2 left head kicks. So he's seen the trait and now he's just overloading Robert's brain with different looks. So he's going with left hooks, head kicks, off Robert's attacks. So he's being like reacting, so he's being reactive. So Robert's the proactive one looking to attack, and then Israel is reacting to his attack, and he knows that every time Robert's coming into exchange, he's dipping to the right side. As you can see right from the start of the fight, the first exchange, Robert's just dipping to the right, dipping to the right. So that's Israel acting reactively. Then also he's using his jab to see Robert's reaction, and Robert's giving the same reaction. So he's throwing the jab, Robert's dipping to the right, and then what he does is, for the first high kick he throws a jab as a fake, like he just throws it as a feint, like with his shoulder, just to see the reaction. And as soon as he sees the reaction, he fires that left kick straight away. Okay, so here's the example of the kick again. So just look at his hand and then watch the kick follow straight after, because Robert was wise to it. He didn't dip this time, but what Israel was expecting was to just show his hand like as a blind, as an illusion, and he was expecting Robert to dip and then you'd follow with the kick straight off. So I'll watch it fast once and then you can watch it slow.
A lot of big actions by Robert Whittaker, though.
Oh, we go slow-mo. So as you can see there, he was trying to set him up with that left kick. So this is 120 after round now. So now all he's looking to do is punish him. He's seen this trait and he can see that he can capitalize on it proactively and reactively. So the next clip's going to be of the first knockdown. So in this next clip, this is literally like the last 10 seconds of the round. So all that like analysis that Israel done in the round of seeing the traits that Robert's doing and the distance and the range, everything he done in the first 2 minutes, then all the different disguises he was doing and all the different like setups he was showing, all led to like this moment now. So he's stored all that data now, and now he's landed like the first significant blow, which like is fight ending. So we'll watch this really fast and then we'll look at it in slow mo. So again, now if you watch this clip in slow mo, you'll see Robert's gonna dip to the right. Israel's gonna see this, throw a left hook to counter, and then that left hook's gonna lead to the right hand. And I think that's when his instincts kick in and he goes into like the flow state, like an ultra instinct, and everything just starts to flow for him. So just watch that dip and the left hand, which leads to the right hand, which is the punch that drops him at the end. So we go. So look, dip, left hand, boom, right hand. One more time, watch that. So watch left, boom, right. So all that from the first bell, he just kept on making this mental note of the traits Robert was doing in the literal first exchange of the fight. If you go rewind this video and look at the first exchange of the fight, Robert comes charging in and dips his head to the right. He keeps in this same trait the whole way through of dipping his head to the right, and Israel then could see, like, he could react to this trait. So Robert was like attacking and Israel was reacting and seeing this dip. Then eventually got to the stage where he was forcing this trait out of Robert. So he was saying of throwing feint to his shoulders, throwing feint to his hips with his jab, and seeing this trait of Robert dipping. So then Robert almost just became a puppy to Israel when Israel was being proactive. And when Israel was being reactive, Israel could figure out Robert, because he knew whenever he was exchanging or starting a combination, he would dip. Okay, now so we're at the start of the second round. So if you look at the time, it's 4:22. So same trait again, but now Israel's got Robert's range and distance. He knows he's a bit rocked, so now he starts incorporating this motion of leaning back and getting out of the range of Robert's punching while throwing the left hook at the same time. So look here, he starts to sit up and throw that eventual knockout combination, which is a left hook to a right hook. So watch this fast and watch it once in slow mo. So boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So everything from the initial exchange right at the start of the first round was, every time Robert exchanges, he dips to the right, and then Israel kept on seeing the same pattern reactively and proactively. So here's an example of it reactively. So Israel's waiting for Robert to attack. As Robert attacks, he's expecting that dip to the right, and that's why he starts to lean and throws his left hook. And then he knows if he lands with the left hook, good, but if he misses the left hook's gonna guide Rob's head to the right hook. So watch in slow mo. So watch, charges in, dip, left hook, right hook. Now he sees he's getting his timing, he's getting his range, he's understanding the distance, and this is 4:19 of the second round. So here's another example at 3:55 of the second round. So now what he's starting to do is he's just starting to visualize that shot. So he's visualizing the left hook. So he's just showing it, seeing how Robert reacts to it, and he just gaining more insight. So watch this.
Style bender.
So you're watching slow mo, just see. So look for his left hand. You can see that. Boom. So same thing again. It's that same dip. This time he pulls it back. He doesn't throw it. He just collecting more data. So the last two examples we looked at were proactive on Robert's part. So Robert was looking to force the action as Israel was reacting to them. So now here's one where Israel's being proactive. So Israel is enforcing action. So look for the feint with his shoulder and his hand, and look at how Robert's showing that same trait from the first exchange of the fight. He's dipping his head to the right.
There from Whittaker.
The quickness of Adesanya
See it? So we're watching slow mo.
The quickness of Adesanya
So we go slow mo. Watch with that little twitch, that little feint, and look at Robert's head. Yeah, so that's 141 now of the second round. So it's just the same pattern and the same trait and the same tendency by Robert. And he's doing the same thing when he's being proactive and reactive. So this next clip is the fight ending combination slash scene. So all from the first exchange from the first round up until this moment, Israel has just like shown his masterclass of fight IQ. Like the first like minute of the round, he just at range, throwing his jab, checking out the distance, just having a look of what's in front of him. And then as you start seeing this like traits and patterns in Robert, this one like big one pops out. It's that the way he's dipping his head, and he's dipping it both ways, but especially towards his right. And he's doing this first like proactively, like I've said like 1,000 times in this video. Like anytime he's engaging his attack, he's dipping to the right, either at the start of the combination or at the end of the combination. Then as the time goes on, as we get into the back end of the first round and the start of the second round, Israel starts to also force this reaction out from jabs, from twitching with the shoulders, twitching with the hips, and then he's just looking to give him different looks. Like he's throwing his high kick up, he's throwing his jab, and then he's showing that left hook angle just to see, okay, how is Robert gonna react, and he's just looking to see like the distance and the range. So here's the fight ending combination fast, and then we look at it slow mo. So look, back. So if you watch this slow now, look for the initial feint just to see that dip, and then from there fires a left hook, and that left hook leads to the right hook, and then back to the left hook. So watch that feint. Yeah, boom, left hook, right hook, left hook. So all that analysis and data storage gave Israel the confidence to do this. And then once he went into this, like in the middle of this combination, his natural instincts and flow took over, and it punished Robert. So because he's seen this trait over and over and over again of Robert dipping his head, he was expecting that. So if you go back, watch it really slow. So look, he just feints. He feints, and he's like loading up that left hook. He's expecting Robert to dip, but this time Robert doesn't dip. But then again, he still fires that left hook. He fires that left hook, and that guides Robert's head to the right. And then watch, right hook, bang. Now Robert's all set for that left hook. Boom. And Israel's left hook is tighter. Robert's is more loopier, and that's why he hits the target. So watch, boom. There we go. And this end of the fight. So basically,
Gotta be very careful.
exit fast one more time. Boom. Like you can see, like just like the hidden art and the little games and the little battles are happening with distance, range, feints, seeing what the guy's doing proactively and reactively, and then making mental notes as the fight's going on, and then reacting and seeing like where you can get off these like patterns that the guy's showing you. And like I think this whole fight from the start to the finish just shows like how high Israel's fight IQ is, and how he blends like strategy and instinct together. Like I believe that before this fight, they must have seen, like Israel's camp must have seen these traits in Robert, like this dipping trait and this to the right, and getting like reacting to jabs and kicks like that way. And then as the fight was going on, Israel was trying to get this trait out of him, and he was looking for it as well. And then eventually the strategy met his instinct, and then his instincts took over, which led to the finish. So it was a perfect blend of like game plan and strategy and instincts, in my opinion. But who knows? Maybe like one of the camp will let us know if this is true. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm bored as fucking isolation, so that's why I did this. If you want any more breakdowns of fights, just drop a comment below. Here's just a celebration to end the video.